Okay, good evening. Last session on science and tech updates. Updates ज़्यादा नहीं है, वो defense was something that we had not covered. तो defense के कुछ important चीज़ें we will do. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll be taking RTFQ of economy. Economy का पहला RTFQ has been done. The remaining two RTFQs through which we'll try to cover 500 questions. We'll be doing it tomorrow. तो आज पहले एक topic that we want to start with is click chemistry. Click chemistry के लिए this year they had given Nobel Prize. 3 scientists, 2 from US and 1 I think from Sweden, got a Nobel Prize for the development of click chemistry. So let's understand what click chemistry is. What is meant by click chemistry? Now, to understand click chemistry, first understand this. आज मैंने बाल नहीं बनाए क्या? लग रहा है. Just a second. बस भाग के आ गया वैसा लग रहा है. Anyways, तो what I was saying, हाँ, to understand click chemistry, first understand the need of it. Think of an important molecule which is produced by important chemical which is produced by a plant. Think of that. Suppose उसकी medicinal properties हैं, that chemical component that is produced by plant. Now we want to manufacture it in lab. Now plants go through a very complex process to produce that molecule, right? First some smaller molecule would have been formed, then usse bhi bada molecule, then usse bhi bada molecule, and so on. In lab, when we try to replicate the process, the conditions are not the same. Here we have to produce it at a very large scale. At large scale, requirements may be different, and thus we end up producing it very inefficiently. Inefficiently means a lot of byproducts are produced, a lot of final product के साथ भी a lot of waste is produced, a lot of energy is required. All this makes the traditional system of manufacturing these things in lab problematic, inefficient, full of wastage. Are we getting it? Are we understanding it? So this, like, let's say we have to produce this product, a number of chemical reactions are required, a number of intermediate products would be formed, and then finally the byproduct banega. And these intermediate products also, a lot of it is waste in lab. In case of plants, they're using all these intermediate products, but in our lab it's waste. In case of plants, जो भी produce हो रहा है, it is eventually getting used in that plant. They're not using excess amount of energy. But when we are doing this in lab, it's creating a lot of wastage for us. Did you understand the problem first? The issue? Now, what we are trying to do in click chemistry is this, that link molecules together, or it's a kind of chemistry where they focus on identifying click reactions, reactions which can happen very quickly, and using that, reactions which can happen very quickly without any byproducts, without any wastage, without any those extreme requirements ki very high temperature and all those situations. Those reactions are click reactions. And click chemistry mein what they're saying is कि अच्छा, by the way, the term click comes from the buckle. जब आप बेल्ट बंद करते हैं ना, क्लिक हो गया, क्लिक हो गया, क्लिक हो गया. That is click. So they're saying कि when you have to manufacture a complex molecule, rather than replicating the nature, how it has been produced in the environment, go for smaller molecules and find those smaller molecules, make them click, then एक बड़ा molecule बना, make them click, make them click, make them click. In this way, without producing a lot of wastage, without going for a complex mechanism, you can quickly make this new product. So ये look at this image. यहाँ पे इन्होंने क्या किया? पहले this was one molecule, this was one molecule. They made them react. They made them click. Then they added other molecules. They made them click there. Click chemistry is this idea. Click chemistry is this idea. Did we understand the? Are we understanding the idea of click chemistry? मतलब क्या करना चाह रहे हैं? वो complex चीजें sideline करना चाह रहे हैं कि वो those complexities we don't want to get into that. Let us try to build these bigger products using smaller, simpler reaction. So click chemistry is a form of simple and reliable chemistry where reactions occur quickly and unwanted products are avoided. Simpler reactions where reactions can occur quickly without any unwanted products. Click chemistry is a term used to describe a set of highly efficient and selective chemical reactions that can be easily performed under mild conditions. Not every reaction would be considered click. Every reaction will have any reaction which needs to be categorized as click reaction. उसको क्या करना होगा? It has to satisfy certain criteria. So it can happen quickly, without any byproduct, efficiently, without a lot of wastage. Those reactions would be click reactions. Now, it's an easy way of making chemical molecules. These reactions are widely used in various fields, including organic synthesis, material science, bioconjugation, etc. The idea is that while trying to produce any particular compound or a complex molecule, one must look for starting molecule that can easily react with each other. When you have to make something big, rather than replicating what is happening in nature, start with reactions which can click, like molecules which can click with each other. It makes resultant chemical reaction more efficient. Click reaction, it emphasizes on the use of reliable, modular and practical reaction. Now note carefully, हम किस reaction को click reaction बोल रहे हैं? Those reaction which are reliable, which are modular, componental, small and small components. उन reactions को use करके the entire thing is getting produced. The key criteria for a reaction to be considered a click reaction are high yield, simple reaction condition, and compatibility with wide range of functional group. Now what they are trying to say here is high yield, to we understand, efficiency is high, per unit of energy used the output would be higher. Simple reaction condition also we understand, extreme high temperature, those kind of things would not be required in click reaction. Compatibility with with a wide range of functional group. Now what is this compatibility with wide range of functional group? It is this, see, when a reaction is something that can be used in lots of products, formation of lots of things, then it has compatibility with lots of things. Tab that reaction can become a module for a number of different products. It doesn't have to be for a single product. We'll look at various examples as well. So one of the most well-known click reaction is this one, azide alkyne cycloaddition, copper catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition. So copper catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition. This two molecules in presence of copper can react quickly to produce it. Otherwise, for this reaction to happen, very high temperature is required for many days, more than 100 degrees Celsius it would have, and then a lot of byproducts would also have been produced. But with the help of copper ions, it has been produced. This reaction could happen very quickly without a lot of useless things being produced. And this is an example of click reaction, a very popular example of click reaction. So one of the most well-known click reaction is copper catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition, commonly known as Houston reaction. This reaction involves the reaction between an azide and an alkyne, to form 1,2,3 triazole product. We do not have to remember these complex names. I just remember this copper catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition because एक scientist जिसको Nobel Prize मिला है अभी, उसका major contribution था ये reaction. We'll come to that. So CuAC is particularly attractive because of its high efficiency, compatibility with various functional groups, and stability of resulting triazole linkage. The product that is produced is also stable. Click chemistry has proven to be valuable tool in drug discovery, polymer synthesis, bioconjugation, material science. Like newer and newer products, complex products could be formed in simpler manner. So chemical का जहां भी use हो रहा है वहां पे click chemistry can act as a beneficial thing. Now when you look at the contribution of these three scientists, so the three scientists who have got Nobel Prize, one is Barry Sharpless, second is Morten Meldal, and third is Caroline Bertozzi. The first three, 1 and 3, are from US, and he's from University of Copenhagen, Switzerland, I guess. Okay, तो ये पूछा नहीं जाएगा, ये एग्जाम में नहीं पूछा जाएगा, but let's understand their contribution. how did they contribute to click chemistry? This person originated the idea of click chemistry. And by the way, Barry Sharpless is amongst the very few people in the world who have got Nobel Prize twice. He once got in 2001, and then he has again got it in 2003 for 2023 for click chemistry. Okay, he initiated the idea of click chemistry. He explained why a smaller, quicker reactions can be adding us modules for bigger reaction and in making them more efficient. This person, Morten Meldal, independently presented the crown jewel of click chemistry. Crown jewel, the most important example of click chemistry. Which one? Copper catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition. अब देखो यूपीएससी प्री में बोल देगा कॉपर catalyzed azide alkyne cycloaddition. अभी न्यूज में था किससे एसोसिएटेड है, and it will give you 4 options: production of new plastics, click chemistry, right? These kind of new pesticides, these kind of options could be there. So if you, that's why I asked you, you do not have to remember any of these technical things. एक ये वाला पॉइंट याद रखना है, अंडरस्टैंड द आइडिया ऑफ क्लिक केमिस्ट्री, बिकॉज यूपीएससी जो क्वेश्चन पूछता है वो ज्यादा कॉन्सेप्चुअल पूछने लगा है आजकल. दे ट्राई टू टेस्ट योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस. दे विल नॉट आस्क यू हु गॉट नोबेल प्राइज फॉर क्लिक केमिस्ट्री. स्टेट पीसीएस एग्जाम्स में वो मिल सकता है, बट दे विल नॉट आस्क यू. दे विल आस्क यू, they will hope that you understand the idea of click chemistry. Or this thing, this is the crown jewel, and who prepared this? This person, Morten Meldal, independently presented this, a chemical reaction utilized in development of pharmaceuticals for mapping DNA and a number of other places. What did Caroline Bertozzi do? She's I think from Stanford University, USA. What did she do? She extended the concept of click chemistry in biological. So she developed click reactions that work inside living organisms. Now see, you would say, sir, the reaction that you just showed, can't we use that in living organisms, inside living organisms? The problem is copper is toxic, and we cannot use the copper mechanism to make click reaction happen inside the body of humans or inside the body of living organisms. So हर bio orthogonal reactions, तो click reactions also understand bio orthogonal reaction. Click reaction का extension in biology, click reaction का extension in living organism is bio orthogonal reaction. तो हर click reaction, हर bio orthogonal reaction take place without disrupting the normal chemistry of cell. If copper was being used, then it would have disrupted. So she has developed other mechanism by which she could do this. Now used globally to explore cells and track biological process. So what did she do? She was working on this protein called glycan. ये cell है. We understand cell के अंदर एक nucleus होगा. Cell has a cell membrane, lipid bilayer है. On that cell membrane, this glycan is attached. Glycan is a kind of sugar. It is attached. It's there. Naturally, it's there. Now, what we wanted was आप देखिए, here copper could not be used because of toxicity. So she was working with complex sugar molecule called glycan, which are present on the membrane of the cell. She attached azide group with the glycan. Azide group यहाँ attach कर दिया, right? Now हमने azide alkyl reactions देखे हैं using copper, but she could not use copper here. Okay, she could not use, but even after this, you can't just easily bring alkyne group and react with it, because here again copper will be required, which is toxic. To solve this, Bertozzi took strained alkyl. This product, this compound is strained alkyl. ये जो star हमने बना रखा है ना, it's a kind of dye, green dye that we have added. Suppose what we wanted, the idea क्या था? Idea was this, कि अगर हमें cell को color करना है with green dye, how we do that? One mechanism is complex natural mechanism. Other mechanism is use click reaction. Click reaction में जैसे हमने ऊपर देखा, ये दो click reactions easily हो जाते हैं. तो एक component we attach with our cell, एक component with the dye. But here copper mechanism could not be used. So therefore, what she did? Bertozzi took strained alkyne. This is strained alkyne, जो octagonal shape में ना strained alkyne. She studied some research paper of 1960s and so and identified कि the strained alkyne, वैसे तो alkyl नहीं react करेगा. In the absence of copper, it will require a lot of heat. But the strained alkyl is highly reactive with this under appropriate condition, the azide group जो हमने कहां पे लगाया है, azide group, we have attached it with the glycan. This was the glycan. We have attached azide group here. Under appropriate condition, the azide group in the glycan will react with the strained alkyne. ये alkyne है. Under appropriate condition, the azide group will react with strained alkyne, and this is where again click chemistry is going to work. Here copper was not required, she had to develop some other mechanism. Thus, it is also click chemistry, but in the absence of copper ion. This is called metal-free click chemistry or bio-orthogonal reaction. So the Nobel Prize that has been given is for click chemistry and bio-orthogonal reactions. So through this, what she was able to achieve, by this Bertozzi was able to tag a fluorescent dye, a colorful dye, in the 8-membered ring. So this dye was there. She had attached this with 8-membered ring. And when it clubbed with azide group, when this 8-membered ring reacted with this azide group here, this azide group that we had added here, when this 8-member ring reacted with this azide group, this compound was formed. उससे क्या हुआ, इस सेल के साथ ये डाई अटैच हो गया. ऐसे इस सेल के साथ डाई अटैच करवाने में a lot of complexities would have been there, but click chemistry made it very simple. By this, Bertozzi was able to tag a fluorescent dye in the 8-membered ring, and when it clubbed with azide group in the glycan, the fluorescent compound got present all over the cell membrane. The cell membrane below can be seen green in color, the green colored cell membrane. It's because of that component that got added. Did we understand the concept behind click chemistry? Let's go back to this reaction. Azide alkyne reaction. Note something. देखो azide alkyne reaction में we are saying कि these two things can react quickly. But by this process, what have we done? इसको और इसको अटैच करवा दिया हमने. Reagent 1, reagent 2. We wanted to do that. But in a simpler manner. So in a way, जो अपने ये azide और alkyne है, ये बेल्ट के वो बकल और वो दो कंपोनेंट बन गए. So this is what we want, some kind of click reactions using which we'll be able to bring bigger reaction take place. We would be able to make bigger reactions take place. And a lot of these modular kind of reaction can simplify the work in chemistry, can benefit in the production of a lot of products. Click. So here by click we don't mean the mouse click. Here by click we mean that buckle click. Okay, so basically let's go back to the first image. I want you to get this feel of click chemistry. What was happening? This was reagent 1, this was reagent 2. यहाँ पे alkyl azide group हमने add किया इनमें and we made them react. Right? In the presence of copper, this is instantaneous reaction without any byproduct or anything. Otherwise, to make these two things come together, a lot of byproduct, a lot of wastage would have been created. So the first scientist gave the idea of click chemistry. Second scientist developed that CUAC thing. And the third one extended it in the field of biology, living organisms. Bio-orthogonal reaction. Did we get click chemistry? Did we get the idea behind click chemistry? A student had specifically requested me. I hope he is able to understand. He said, "Sir, I have tried to go through a lot of things, lot of resources, but I was not able to understand the idea behind click chemistry." I hope you people understand it. आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है तो चैट में yes लिख दीजिए, no लिख दीजिए. I'll accordingly redo it. Yes if you are understanding it, no if you haven't. and accordingly I will go ahead. Okay, now डिफेंस के कुछ फैक्चुअल अपडेट्स हैं, ज्यादा कुछ नहीं. दिस वाज एन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. डिफेंस के अपडेट्स कुछ फटाफट करेंगे. दो ही बच्चों को समझ में आया है? कोई बात नहीं. नो तो नहीं है ना कोई? Okay, everyone is understanding this. Let's go to some defense में. What I'm doing is the most important equipments which were in news over the last 1 year. We are doing that. I'm not covering like a 40-50 page का पूरा document of all the defense. It would not. ROI is very less, and I'm not even going into the details of the weapon because over the last few years they have never gone into the details of the weapon. They've asked कि ये क्या है? Is it a submarine? Is it a bomb? Or this belongs to which country? They've asked these kind of questions. पिछले 1-2 साल में तो पूछा भी नहीं है कुछ भी. Right? इसीलिए will not go into lots of details of defense, just understand the factual aspect of it. तो अभी ये न्यूज में था एक LCH प्रचंड. तो LCH प्रचंड क्या है? हेलीकॉप्टर. LCH प्रचंड is a helicopter. This helicopter LCH प्रचंड, it has been designed by HAL. It is first indigenous multi-role combat helicopter. Multi-role combat helicopter मतलब it has multiple roles. It can have rescue role. It can also have ground attack roles. So it has potent ground attack and aerial combat capability. Plus it can have other multi-role होने का मतलब ये है. It's a twin engine LCH. Then it has been inducted in IAF's newly raised number 143 helicopter unit. It is the only attack helicopter in the world which can land and take off at an altitude above 5 kilometers. At an altitude of 5 kilometers, it is the only helicopter in the world which can land there as well as take off from there with considerable load of weapons and fuel, significantly augmenting the firepower of Indian Air Force. Fine. So Prachand, LCH, Prachand light combat helicopter, Prachand developed by HAL, has been recently inducted. Then एक और है ALH Mark 3, Advanced Light Helicopter ALH Mark 3. ALH Mark 3 ना कई सालों से यूज हो रहा है. आप देखिए, I have not removed the older news just for helping you understand. It was in news in December 2022 कि कहाँ पे इंडियन कोस्ट गार्ड एडवांस लाइट हेलीकॉप्टर मार्क 3 स्क्वाड्रन 840 स्क्वाड्रन CG commissioned in Chennai. So Indian Coast Guard have included this in their weaponry, LCH helicopter, LCH Mark 3. But even before that, you will see September 2021 में there was a news that Army will get 25 advanced light helicopter at a cost of 3850 crore rupees. Advanced light helicopter inducted in INS Dega. INS Dega मतलब Navy में भी. It's a naval ship. There it has been inducted. So Navy is using it. Army is demanding it. Indian Coast Guard use कर रहा है. Air Force भी use कर लेगा. So it's a pretty popular helicopter. ALH Mark 3 are indigenously developed maritime reconnaissance coastal security helicopter. देखो maritime reconnaissance coast guard में जा रहा है, Navy भी use कर रहा है, and coastal security helicopter it has also been developed by HAL. तो देखो तेजस बहुत सालों से तेजस न्यूज में था. तेजस has been developed by HAL. These two helicopters also Prachand and advanced light helicopters are also by this. Rajat Joshi saying, sir, please take science marathon. Abhi na, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, let us finish economy RTFQ. In economy RTFQ, we will not only cover the basic portions, the current affairs portion, but also economic survey of India and budget thoroughly. So let's finish 500 questions, the most important topics of that, and then we'll take a call कि आप क्या साइंस मैराथन या एनवायरनमेंट मैराथन या इकोनॉमी मैराथन में इंटरेस्टेड होगे क्या? शर्म नहीं आ रही है तो सर आप छुट्टी पे चले जाओ, पढ़ाई रहे हो है? मुझे भी आराम दे दो. मैं मेंस के लिए तो थोड़ा सा मुझे फ्रेश होने दो ना. इकोनॉमी भी नहीं लो आरटीएफ देखो इकोनॉमी आरटीएफ के लिए. हाँ चलिए चलिए ठीक है. मैपिंग बेटा, इंडिया वाली मैपिंग कम स्कोप है. अभी मेरे पास बिल्कुल बैंडविड्थ ही नहीं है. तो don't take any problem. I'm not making any promises. RTFQ के बाद अभी I'll not make any promises बेटा. देखते हैं करेंगे. Let's come to this advanced light helicopter Mark 3. देखो यूपीएससी ना उनके टेक्निकलिटी, जैसे रॉकेट्स के टेक्निकलिटीज में क्या है ना, कितने इंजन्स हैं, ये है वो है, दे हैव नॉट गॉन इनटू टेक्निकलिटीज ऑफ दीस थिंग्स, तो वी आर नॉट कवरिंग इट, है ना. आई हैव मेंशन्ड सर्टेन डिटेल्स बट नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देन लेट्स कम टू मिसाइल्स. मिसाइल्स में पहले लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ द अग्नि मिसाइल्स. इंडिया में ना 6 अग्नि मिसाइल्स हैं, उनमें 4 आर कमीशन्ड, 1 is tested, that is 5th is being tested and 6th is in the preparatory phase. Agni are ballistic missiles. So missiles can be of 2 types, ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. हमें पता है ballistic cruise का difference, हमने पहले करा है. ballistic cruise का difference सबको पता है. शशांक बेसिक पता है. ओके. हेमंत बोल रहे हैं सर वेट भी कम करनी है आपको. वेट नहीं कम करना, हेल्थ अच्छा करना है. हाँ, वेट तो ज्यादा रह जाएगा तो कोई बात नहीं. चलिए लेट्स कम बैक टू दिस. तो अग्नि मिसाइल्स और बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स, इसमें अग्नि 1 2 3 4 5 6 है. टिल अग्नि 1 2 3, अग्नि 1 2 3 were developed under a project called IGMDP, Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, which was headed by APJ Abdul Kalam. IGMDP. Agni 1 2 3 initiative was by under IGMDP project. बाद में Agni 4 was under Agni 4 project, Agni 5 was under Agni 5 project, and Agni 6 was under Agni 6 project. Now दूसरा important aspect है, please these are ballistic missiles. तो देखो ballistic and cruise का difference थोड़ा ऐसे समझ लो. Ballistic missiles are like they follow the path of a projectile. Projectile जैसे suppose you have to, when you throw a stone, if you're throwing, no matter how when you're throwing a stone, let's say you want it to reach here, so you would throw it something like this. But if you want to reach it here, you'll throw it something like this. You want to it to reach it here, you will throw it something like this. So your angle of throw and the speed at which you are throwing it will determine where it is going to fall, right? तो ballistic missile follow this projectile path. तो generally जो intercontinental missiles है जिन्हें बहुत दूर दूर तक भेजना है हमें, they will follow this ballistic missile approach. जैसे हमारा Agni 5 is a ballistic missile. Even smaller missiles can be ballistic missile. Even smaller missiles can be ballistic missiles. Okay, so they follow the path of this projectile. So in ballistic missile, what happens? You know the target. You will not be able to change the target later. But when it comes to cruise missile, the term, the name cruise missile has been used because those missiles travel at a speed called cruise speed for most of their distance. Cruise missiles will travel at a speed called cruise speed at for most of their distance. For example, think of a BrahMos. BrahMos को हम बोलते हैं कि हमने उसे लॉन्च किया यहां से and we have to target this. So what would happen? It would go up, but then most of the path it will not be in this projectile. It will go straight, and then while falling it may change some, but most of the path it will fall go through this at this cruise speed at this particular height. Plus what would happen is here you can change the direction, change its path, you can control it, because in the entire route you are controlling it, which was not the case with in general with ballistic missile. With more changes in technology, with more advancement, even ballistic missiles have been given this technology, but this was the core difference. So Agni missiles are ballistic missiles. Agni missiles are nuclear submunitions. They have nuclear submunitions, they have fuel air explosives, and important part is ऐसे याद रखो, Agni 1 2 3 4 5 6, Agni 1 can reach a distance of 1000 kilometers, 2 can reach a distance of 2000 kilometers, 3 can reach a distance of 3000 kilometers. ऐसे देखो, Agni 1 रेंज देखिए 700 to 1250, Agni 2 2000 to 200 2500, Agni 3 3000 to 3500, Agni 4 till 4000, Agni 5 around 5000, Agni 6 around 6000. डिड वी अंडरस्टैंड? आर वी गेटिंग दिस? पक्का? तो अग्नि के बारे में, एक तो अग्नि 1 2 3 have been developed under integrated guided missile development program. They are nuclear capable missiles. They can launch nuclear weapon. 1 2 3 IGMDP के अंदर. उसके बाद अग्नि 4 5 6. अग्नि 4 has been commissioned in 2014. 5 is still being tested and 6 is still under development. Sir, want to learn environment from you, static plus CA for PT plus means. Which course to join? Current affairs course. करंट अफेयर्स में वी कवर एंटायर एनवायरनमेंट. स्टैटिक भी करते हैं हम उसमें, इसीलिए बहुत हम लगभग 400-500 पेजेस नोट्स देते हैं. इफ इट वाज ओनली करंट अफेयर्स वी कुड हैव फिनिश्ड इट इन 100 पेजेस. ओके, तो करंट अफेयर्स प्रोग्राम इट इज स्टार्टिंग ऑन 3rd of July. आपका 2024 के लिए करंट अफेयर्स प्रोग्राम इज स्टार्टिंग ऑन 3rd of July. The first lecture would be live on YouTube only. You can attend there and you'll be able to understand the key structure of the program. Target mains for 2023 is starting on Thursday, 7th of July. 7th or 8th of July, जो भी Thursday आएगा. नहीं, जून, I'm sorry, जून. हाँ, ये भी 3rd जून को है, नॉट जुलाई. 28th को संडे है, 3rd जून को आई थिंक सैटरडे है ना? तो नॉट ऑन 3rd और 4th जून. आपका मेंस वाला बैच 3rd 4th को मैं 2024 वाला बैच लॉन्च कर रहा हूँ. 7th और 8th जो भी थर्सडे आएगा, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे, सैटरडे, संडे, वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग विद इकोनॉमी फॉर मेंस. Right? What we'll try to do is in first 1 month we will finish GS3. In next 1 month we will finish GS2, 4 classes a week लेके, and we'll be writing a lot of answers. Target means में current affairs तो वही होता है ना. Means masters program वो अलग से बात करेंगे उसके. तो my responsibility is GS2, GS3 thoroughly syllabus wise हम जाके 2 महीने में with a lot of answers we'll do it. Okay, no need to learn static before it. No, you do not need to do anything before it. Environment and science and tech में कुछ नहीं करना है, सब मेरा जिम्मेदारी है. In current affairs program, we will be able to finish it thoroughly. So did we understand basic things about Agni? Now, देखो, Agni 1 and 2 are called medium range ballistic missile. 3 and 4 are called intermediate range ballistic missile because of their distance that they can reach. But Agni 5 and 6 are called intercontinental ballistic missile. When a missile is going till 2024, till 5,000 kilometers. When a missile is can travel 5,000 kilometers, those missiles are called intercontinental missiles. They can cross the continent. So those are called intercontinental ballistic missiles. तो ये था अपना integrated guided missile development program जिसके अंदर अग्नि 1 2 3 डेवलप हुए थे. So this integrated guided missile development program was a program by Ministry of Defense. It was conceived by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and the program was managed by DRDO and Ordnance Factory Board. It started in 1982-83 and went on till 2008 after the strategic missiles were successfully developed. So which were the missiles which were developed under this program? Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Akash and Nag. इसमें अग्नि का अग्नि 1 2 3 were developed under this initiative. Integrated guided missile development program. So Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Akash and Nag. What is Prithvi? Prithvi is a family of tactical surface to surface missiles. It will be launched from surface and would be attacking a target on the surface. It's a short range ballistic missile. It was India's first indigenously developed ballistic missile. Agni was developed later. सबसे पहले ballistic missile इंडिया ने कौन सा develop किया था? Prithvi. It has range of 150 to 600 किलोमीटर. 3 पृथ्वी है, 1 2 3, and the range kept on increasing. This is the variation for Prithvi. Prithvi, a missile developed under integrated guided missile development program IGMDP, a ballistic missile, short range, only up to 600 kilometers. The land based variant is called Prithvi, while the naval variant is called Dhanush. Prithvi ka hi ek naval variant is called Dhanush. Then we have Agni 1 2 3. We have just seen that. These are intermediate surface to surface ballistic missile. We have Trishul. Now, when you imagine Trishul, तो Trishul आप देख रहे हो ना, कोई ऐसे फेंक रहा है यहां से, तो it is surface to air missile. Surface to air missile, short range surface to air missile, range of 12 kilometers and is fitted with 5 to 15 kilometer of warhead. It is designed to be used against low level sea skimming targets. तो आपके शिप पे कोई अटैक कर रहा है, कोई मिसाइल या कोई चीज सी स्किमिंग, सी को टच करते हुए आपके शिप की तरफ आ रही है, तो दिस विल बी समथिंग दैट विल बी एबल टू डिस्ट्रॉय इट. देन देयर इज आकाश. हमने क्या क्या पढ़ लिया अभी? पृथ्वी, अग्नि, त्रिशूल एंड देन आकाश. आकाश इज अ सरफेस टू एयर मिसाइल. जैसे कोई फाइटर जेट आ रहा है या कोई दूसरा मिसाइल आ रहा है, उसको टारगेट करना है, उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करना है, तो आकाश इज यूज देयर. आकाश का इंटरसेप्टिंग रेंज इज 30 किलोमीटर्स. आकाश का एक नया वर्जन भी है, आकाश MK1S, एंड आकाश का एक लेटेस्ट वर्जन है, आकाश NG. We'll discuss about Akash NG in greater detail. It was tested in 2022 only. We will talk about it more details. Then we have Nag missile system. Nag, it is India's third generation fire and forget anti-tank guided missile. ATGM. Anti-tank missile. Nag is anti-tank missile. इसी का एक बेटर वर्जन है, इसी का एक कैरियर है नामिका, नाग मिसाइल कैरियर. Through the Nag missile carrier, you can launch Nag missiles from a retractable armored launcher that contains 4 launch tubes. The armored vehicle can carry up to 12 missiles in total. So basically, it can carry 3 launch tubes, and together these many things can be launched. Okay, so these were the missiles which were developed under Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. 5 missiles हमने उसमें देखे, उसमें अग्नि में ही अग्नि 1, 2, 3 है. Please note 4 and 5 were not part of Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP. Okay, then we have Akash NG. इसका 4th टेस्ट अभी हुआ था पोखरण में 2022 में. Akash new generation will be a improved version of Akash. What was Akash? Surface to air, right? So it is a successor of Akash and Akash 1S series of missiles with improvement such as dual pulse solid rocket motor, better quality of motor. The missile also uses KU band active radar system. Do we understand what KU band is? हमने पढ़ा हुआ है स्पेस में ये सब. तो it uses KU band active radar system to target the, देखो it is surface to air, तो एयर में तो दूसरा मिसाइल आ रहा होगा या दूसरा एयरक्राफ्ट आ रहा होगा, उसे टारगेट के लिए बना होगा ना, which was revealed to the public during Aero India 2021. इसका 4th test has happened recently. Akash new generation. फायर एंड फॉरगेट, जो बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल वाले होते हैं ना, उसमें यू हैव फायर्ड इट एंड देन यू नो इट विल हिट द टारगेट, वो वाला फायर. नहीं, जनरली इन केसेस में वो नहीं होता है. ओके, ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल, एक्सटेंडेड रेंज वर्जन ऑफ ब्रह्मोस was launched abhi, was tested on Sukhoi MKI aircraft in December 2022. Now we'll come to extended range. First, let's understand what BrahMos is. BrahMos, first of all, is a cruise missile. It's a cruise missile. It's not a ballistic missile. It's a supersonic cruise missile. That is, it can travel at a speed faster than the speed of sound. The missile is uniquely configured for installing in ships, submarines, aircraft, and ground vehicle. Therefore, BrahMos is used by our army also, navy also, air force also. अभी हमने देखा सुखोई से टेस्ट हो रहा है. Sukhoi is our fighter jet, and from there BrahMos is being tested. Right? BrahMos missile. Technical specification देखोगे तो it is the world's fastest cruise missile. It can travel at a speed of 2.5 to 2.8 Mach. Mach is speed of sound. So 2.5 to 2.8 times speed of sound पे ये travel कर सकता है. Its range is up to 300 kilometers. The extended range which are being tested now are of 450 kilometers. Now, do you remember MTCR? Missile Technology Control Regime. India was till 2016. India was not part of MTCR. So MTCR had this restriction that any member of MTCR cannot give the technology of a missile, of a rocket whose range is more than 300 kilometers to another country. तो इंडिया और रशिया ने मिलकर जब ब्रह्मोस बनाया तो इसका रेंज 299 किलोमीटर ही रखा गया. Why? Because Russia could not give us technology which would carry a missile system beyond 300 kilometers. But in 2016, India became part of MTCR. Since India became part of MTCR, उसके बाद in 2017 we tested BrahMos extended range because Russia could now give us the technology. Are we getting this? BrahMos extended range warhead. It carries a conventional warhead, not nuclear wala. It carries a conventional warhead. Two-stage missile है, one being solid and the second one being ramjet liquid propellant. Now हमने scramjet पढ़ा है ना? Here we'll understand scramjet, ramjet दोबारा से. तो it has two-stage engine, one being solid, other is ramjet liquid propellant engine. It was developed with the help from it was developed in Russian partnership. तो आप देखेंगे it has been developed by BrahMos Aerospace, a joint venture of DRDO of India, and NPO NPOM of Russia. It has been given name from Brahmaputra and Moscow. BrahMos name has come from there. सिग्निफिकेंस ये आर्मी में भी, नेवी में भी, एयरफोर्स में भी यूज हो रहा है. अभी एयरफोर्स में दिसंबर वाला टेस्ट था, बिकॉज ऑफ विच इट वाज इन न्यूज. द एक्सटेंडेड रेंज विल फर्दर एनहांस द capabilities of India, and BrahMos में there are lots of opportunity of export as well. A number of other countries have shown interest in buying BrahMos. It's a cruise missile, world's fastest cruise missile. Do we understand this? BrahMos भी समझ में आया? No, conventional warhead. Please understand this. If we are launching it from airplanes also, we cannot like install those things there. It's for conventional warhead. Agni was carrying nuclear warhead, is capable of carrying nuclear warhead. So in case of BrahMos, we said it has two-stage engine, one solid stage. Solid, so we understand. Other is ramjet engine. So what is ramjet engine? We had studied something called scramjet engine. Remember, एक हमने वो पढ़ा था स्पेस में. In space, we had studied air breathing propulsion experiment. Air breathing propulsion experiment. What was this experiment? The experiment was when our rocket is going up, in the initial phase, in the atmosphere, oxygen is there. Why do we need to carry oxidizing agent? Let oxygen come from outside. We'll be using that oxygen. We'll be using that oxygen. It will reduce the weight of oxygen that we need to carry. This was a scramjet engine. In scramjet engine, the rocket, when it starts going up, its speed becomes more than the speed of sound. Eventually, its speed would become more than the speed of sound. Right? So, when it starts going up, when the rocket starts going up, the air is entering at a speed more than the speed of sound. And the test was, air breathing propulsion experiment mein test was, we should be able to maintain a flame in that high speed of air which is entering. At the speed of air which was entering was more than the speed of sound. In ramjet, we use a compressor to slow down that air, and then we use it. So in ramjet, which is being used, scramjet, so we are still developing. In ramjet, which is being used in BrahMos, a ramjet, sometimes referred to as a flying stovepipe, is a form of air breathing jet engine that uses the engine forward motion to compress coming air. So when the engine is moving forward, the air which is coming in, it compresses that air without an axial compression, because ramjet cannot create thrust at zero airspeed. They cannot move aircraft from a standstill, because यहाँ पे oxygen कैसे आ रहा है? Only when you are moving. So it cannot, ramjet में you cannot start the engine or you cannot initiate the engine by ramjet mechanism. Here you need to get air. So here what is happening? You would see that when the air is entering, inlet में speed is more than the speed of sound, but it is getting compressed and then combustion is happening. Right? Whereas here, this compression would not happen, and combustion has to happen at a speed more than the speed of. It's a bit difficult, but it is more efficient. It is more efficient because this compression and all will take up some energy, which will create a drag, and thus scramjets are better. So scramjets we are still testing. Air breathing propulsion experiment ISRO वाला हमने देखा था. Ramjet is something that is being used in BrahMos already. Okay. Then quick reaction, surface to air missile. मेंस 2024 बैच, अरे देखो हमारा करंट अफेयर्स बैच होता है ना, प्री कम मेंस का होता है, जो अभी जुलाई में लॉन्च होगा ना, इट विल कंप्लीट एंटायर प्री मेंस, इट विल बी अ 15-month program. Now, will there be a mains masters program for 2023? Do not worry about mains programs for now. On the 28th May in the evening, we'll discuss the paper. हम 6 PM को लाइव पेपर डिस्कस करते हैं. एक ना, डू नॉट स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट आंसर्स जो आपको 5 बजे इंस्टीट्यूशन एग्जामिनेशन हॉल के बाहर निकलते ही ना आपको बहुत सारे लोग आंसर की देने आ जाएंगे. बहुत गलतियां रहती है. वेट फॉर 6 PM, वी विल डिस्कस इट. मैं निखिल सर हम लोग मिलके प्रॉपर ऑथेंटिक आंसर की बनाएंगे. उससे अपना कंपैरिजन करना कि कितने मार्क्स आ रहे हैं कितने नहीं आ रहे हैं. ठीक है. एंड आफ्टर दैट वी विल ऑल्सो अनाउंस all our mains programs. So we'll announce all our mains program on 28th of May. अभी परेशान मत होइए, अभी focus on revising, focus on your preliminary examination. Okay. तो quick reaction surface to air missile, देखो नाम में ही है quick reaction. A surface to air missile which could be launched very quickly. What is the idea of this quick reaction surface to air missile? देखो suppose we want to जैसे जब पाकिस्तान ने पार्लियामेंट पे अटैक किया था 2001 में, we wanted that we should be able to invade Pakistan. Limits was crossed. It was an attack on our democracy. But we didn't do that because once our army penetrates Pakistan, there would be a lot of casualties from our side also. Their air force would attack us and all. Quick reaction surface to air missile is for handling the air force. When we are entering our enemy territory, their air force attacking us, these surface to air missiles would be destroying those aircrafts in a very quick manner. Quick reaction surface to air missiles. The ballistic missile has been indigenously developed by DRDO and other establishments like Bharat Dynamics Limited. It's a highly mobile air defense system which comes with 100% kill probability and has capability to neutralize aerial targets like fighter jets, cruise missiles, and air-to-air surface missiles, as well as short-range ballistic missiles. It can neutralize all these things, and thus जो हम क्विकली पाकिस्तान में एंटर करना चाहेंगे, उन पे अटैक करना चाहेंगे, उन सब में दिस क्विक रेंज सरफेस टू एयर मिसाइल कैन बी very crucial. The QRSAM project was sanctioned in August 2014 at an initial cost of 476 crore and first test was being conducted in June 2017. अभी भी सितंबर में इसका टेस्ट ही हुआ था. DRDO and Indian Army successfully conducted 6 flight tests of QRSAM of Odisha coast. Significance, it reinforces India's cold start doctrine. Now what is this cold start doctrine? इसमें भी ना अगर हम if we go back to again parliament attack, तो पार्लियामेंट अटैक के बाद वी आर वेरी अनहैप्पी. वी शुड हैव अटैक्ड पाकिस्तान. बट व्हाट हैपेंड बाय द टाइम वी मोबिलाइज्ड आवर आर्मी फॉर दैट अटैक, पाकिस्तान हैड आल्सो कंसोलिडेटेड इट्स बॉर्डर्स. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस डिले ऑफ 1 or 2 weeks, the losses from our side would have been pretty high. So from that time we changed our doctrine to cold start doctrine. Cold start is what? Say your engine does not need time to गर्म होना की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी उसे. You want to initiate attack, you can instantly start attack. This is cold start doctrine. So cold start doctrine में will something like QRSAM be very crucial? This is what we are saying here. Quick range surface to air missile will reinforce India's cold start doctrine. तो अंदर this we would want कि हमारे आर्मी वाले कंटोनमेंट में सेंट्रल इंडिया में ना बैठे रहे, बॉर्डर के पास रहे, so that if we have to start attacks that can happen very quickly. Now let's come to ballistic missile defense system of India. Ballistic missile defense system of India. What is this? देखो, understand this. Let's say China कल इंडिया पे न्यूक्लियर अटैक कर रहा है, दिल्ली पे एक इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल लॉन्च कर, राइट? इट हैज लॉन्च्ड इट एंड वी हैव टू डेवलप अ mechanism to defend against it, destroy that missile. तो ballistic missile defense system deals with this. Now ballistic missile defense system देखो, अब now note one more thing, when you throw a stone जो ballistic वाला shape लेके जाएगा, its speed would be the highest when you are throwing it, or its speed would be the highest when it is falling. At the top, its speed becomes almost zero because gravity is pulling it downwards. It will keep going up, but its speed will keep becoming lesser and lesser because it is being pulled in this direction. It will reach at a height and then gravity will further pull it down. तो ऊपर वाले एरिया में it is moving slowly, whereas when it is being launched and when it is falling down, it is moving much faster. तो अपन ने जो ballistic missile defense की टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करी है उसमें देयर आर टू स्टेजेस. वन इज एक्सो एटमॉस्फेरिक स्टेज, जब वो एटमॉस्फेयर में ऊपर वाले पार्ट में है. अदर इज एंडो एटमॉस्फेरिक स्टेज. एक्सो एटमॉस्फेरिक स्टेज इज सिंपल, इट्स इजी टू टारगेट इट there when it is moving slowly. Endo atmospheric stage is a bit advanced, bit difficult because the speed of the missile is much higher here. So we have two layered shield, exo and endo. Prithvi air defense and or the Prithvi defense vehicle is indigenously developed supersonic missile of India designed to destroy missile at exo atmospheric altitude. और ऐसा ही एक और है एडवांस्ड एयर डिफेंस. एडवांस क्यों? और अश्विन एडवांस डिफेंस इंटरसेप्टर विच इज फॉर एंडो लॉन्चेस, एंडो अटैक्स. आर वी गेटिंग इट? इट इज सिंगल स्टेज सॉलिड रॉकेट प्रोपेल्ड गाइडेड सुपरसोनिक मिसाइल विद अ नेविगेशन सिस्टम, अ हाईटेक कंप्यूटर. इन सब में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट पृथ्वी एंड अश्विन और पृथ्वी एंड एडवांस्ड एयर डिफेंस mechanisms are two mechanisms to deal are two components of India's ballistic missile defense system. ये खुद का बनाया हुआ है. Other than this, अच्छा, with this India has become the fourth country after US, Russia and Israel to have successfully developed ballistic missile defense system. इसके अलावा we are also buying ballistic missile defense system from other countries. जैसे S-300 है, we have taken it from Russia. S-400 is something that we are getting from Russia. S-400 अभी भी न्यूज में था 2023 में, मार्च 2023 में, कि 5 S-400 regiment expected to be delivered by early 2024. This delay has occurred, like plan इतना delayed plan नहीं था, but because of insurance, reinsurance and delayed payments, the delay of delivery of S-400 has occurred. The S-400 Triumph is Russia's most advanced long-range surface-to-air missile defense system. It's an anti-aircraft weapon system developed by Russia. NATO calls it Growler, SA-21 Growler. The standard S-400 batteries consist of 4, you can see this, 4 transporter erector launchers, tails, 4 launch tube per tail. In sub mein 4 launch tubes would be there. In addition to target acquisition, engagement radar system and component post. India ने 2018 में 5.43 बिलियन और 40,000 करोड़ रुपीस का डील साइन किया था. द डील हैज बीन डिलेड फ्रॉम द स्टार्ट ओवर पेमेंट इशू विद द लूमिंग थ्रेट ऑफ यूएस सैंक्शन अंडर काटसा. द टू साइड्स हैड वर्कड आउट पेमेंट थ्रू rupee ruble exchange mechanism. The delivery schedule was slightly delayed following delay in making the 15% advance of $5.43 billion payment. अभी तक third S-400 regiment has been completed, but remaining 2 would be done by 2024. This was in news recently. Are we getting it? Are we understanding it? Then there are some other missiles, international missiles. अभी कुछ ना हम एक हमारे 70-80 questions of science is left, उसमें we'll do some more international missiles. अभी the most एक दो, क्योंकि वो बहुत relevant नहीं होते, but still we'll do it through questions. But let's cover some international missiles. एक है ये Avangard. Avangard is pretty important. ये रशिया का एक मिसाइल है. अब है तो ये बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल, बट सी बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स में वी नो कि यू लॉन्च बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल, द टारगेट इज प्री डिफाइंड. Now in predefined target, what happens? It's easy to target the missile because once you know कि okay, there is this missile coming, you can track its path. Because if you know the speed and the angle at which it is traveling, direction at which it is traveling, you can identify at what time where it would be, and thus it is easy to destroy it. जैसे इंडिया का बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल डिफेंस सिस्टम है, बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स को टारगेट कर लेगा, राइट? ये बात समझ में आई? नाउ what if in ballistic missile we develop a gliding facility? It will make your defense system weak. Avant-garde mein, this is what Russia had done. It's a ballistic missile, will travel at a very high speed, but towards its end it also has this gliding component, and thus targeting it would be difficult. So Russia ने जब ये launch किया था, Russia said that now we can target any place in US with this missile, and their ballistic missile defense system will not be able to stop us. Got it? Did we understand the idea of avant-garde? So the missile can travel 27 times the speed of sound and is capable of unleashing a 2 megaton nuclear weapon, more than 100 times as powerful as bomb which wiped out Hiroshima. It is two-part system involving a large rocket and a gliding vehicle. According to Russia, the missile can hit almost any point in the world and evade a US built missile shield. Though this has been questioned by Western experts, but avant-garde इस वजह से न्यूज में था. तो जो ये मिसाइल्स आ रहे हैं ना, कौन से मिसाइल्स? Ballistic missiles which can glide, they are emerging as major issues, major threats. चाइना का भी एक है DF-17 missile. It has a range of 1800 to 2500 kilometers and is medium range missile system equipped with hypersonic glide vehicle. अब इसका 2000 किलोमीटर तो इंडिया को ही टारगेट कर रहा होगा, या उधर जापान, साउथ कोरिया, सबको ही टारगेट कर रहा होगा. द hypersonic glide vehicle higher maneuverability and ability to fly at lower altitude make them difficult to track and their flight path unpredictable. These aspects may negate the role of ballistic missile defense system. Are we getting this? ये glide होने वाले नए मिसाइल जो डेवलप हो रहे हैं, आयरन डोम मिसाइल सिस्टम. नाउ आयरन डोम इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. किसका है? इजराइल. ये इट्स प्रीटी यूजफुल. Okay, now there are some questions. Let me take it. Sir, RTFQ of Science and Tech, please. RTFQ of Science Tech हो गया है, बस there are 50-60 questions left. We have done 420 questions. RTFQ economy on Saturday, Sunday. Economy का first RTFQ is already there on YouTube, and the first 100 questions are there. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll do more questions, more revision of economy. तो आप economy खत्म कर लीजिए, revise कर लीजिए. We'll cover economy basics plus Economic Survey of India and budget as well through questions of those RTFQ. Sir, can this air defense system be employed against cruise missile? Yes, with some changes we can. Cruise missile के against भी employ कर सकते हैं. Do every hypersonic missile have gliding ability? No. Not every hypersonic missile will have gliding ability. They are developing it for the newer ones. Okay, तो ये है अपना Iron Dome missile system. Iron Dome missile system क्या है? देखो, Israel is situated, वहां पे गाजा स्ट्रिप है और बगल में बहुत सारे और भी कंट्रीज है जो उनको थ्रेटन करती हैं. जॉर्डन है, लेबनान है, सबसे उनका टेंशन ही चल रहा होता है. नाउ दिस इज अ मिसाइल डिफेंस और एयरक्राफ्ट डिफेंस सिस्टम. जब गाजा स्ट्रिप से बहुत सारे मिसाइल्स लॉन्च होते हैं और जॉर्डन से बहुत सारे मिसाइल लॉन्च होते हैं, दिस आयरन डोम का मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो पूरा डोम बना दिया आयरन का. These missiles destroy the missiles which have been launched, and their kill probability is more than 90%. 90% of those missiles are getting launched. Also, they have technology to calculate where the missile that has been launched from the other side is going to fall. If it is going to fall at a place where no infrastructure, no human beings are there, they let it go there. Not waste our defense against the missiles which are not affecting any one of us. आयरन डोम, तो पता है सवाल क्या आएगा, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली सवाल आएगा आयरन डोम किस कंट्री का है, बट कुछ और चीजें, बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट दे हैव आस्क्ड सो फार, दे हैव आस्क्ड कि ये क्या है, ये सबमरीन है कि एयरक्राफ्ट है क्या, एंड दे हैव आस्क्ड ये किस कंट्री का है। सेवन गार्ड किस कंट्री का है, आयरन डोम किस कंट्री का है। अभी यूक्रेन से रिलेटेड भी कुछ मिसाइल्स वगैरह न्यूज में थे, वो मैं आरटीएफक्यू में, लास्ट आरटीएफक्यू में कर, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है बट विल कवर इट। तो डिड वी अंडरस्टैंड द आइडिया ऑफ आयरन डोम पूरा, है ना। तो इट्स अ मल्टी मिशन सिस्टम केपेबल ऑफ इंटरसेप्टिंग रॉकेट्स, आर्टिलरी, मोटर्स, प्रिसिशन गाइडेड munitions like very short range air defense, VSHORAD, very short range air defense system, as well as aircraft, helicopter and UAVs over short range of up to 70 kilometers. How does it work? The interceptor missile uses a proximity fuse to detonate a target warhead in the air. जो warhead है जो आ रहा है, ये it uses proximity fuse to detonate this, detonate that as soon as possible. What's going on? कौन था? एनीवेज, डिड वी अंडरस्टैंड दिस, है ना। बाकी एक बार रीड कर लीजिए, नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली क्वेश्चन वुड बी आयरन डोम किस कंट्री का है। फाइन, देन लेट्स गो टू आर्टिलरी ऑफ इंडियन आर्मी। आर्टिलरीज, आर्टिलरी क्या होती है पता है? देखो, एक तो आप गोली चला रहे हो, इट विल गो 100 meters, 200 meters, most advanced snipers will take you to 1 kilometer target, right? But imagine larger bullets being launched from this, it can travel a few kilometers. These are artillery guns. This is a Bofors gun which was used during Kargil war. It was this one, Hobbits FH-77. It was inducted, replacing, it was made by Bofors to be replaced in near future by Dhanush howitzer. Dhanush howitzer क्या है? ये है Dhanush howitzer. Undergoing user trial, 6 artillery pieces delivered to the army by for user trial in July 2016. M777 howitzer, it's from USA. India is inducting this. So these are artillery guns. एग्जाम में ये आर्टिलरी गन्स के नाम याद रख लो, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली सवाल यही रहेगा। बोफोर्स या हॉबिट्स, FH-77, M46, पिनाका, MBRL, K9 थंडर, these are all artillery guns. Are we comfortable here? Then एयरक्राफ्ट्स, एयरक्राफ्ट में तो इंडिया में सबसे पॉपुलर रफाल, इंडिया हैज रिसीव्ड ऑल 36 रफाल एयरक्राफ्ट फ्रॉम फ्रांस। 2016 में वी हैड साइंड अ डील, 2016 में वी हैड साइंड अ डील, नाउ in December 2022 we received the 36th aircraft. For this reason it was a news. 2016 में डील क्या था? In 59,000 crore rupees, not in 59,000 rupees, in 59,000 crore rupees, or in $7.87 billion, India will get 36 of the Rafale. Further, there was a 50% offset clause. Now what is this 50% offset clause? 50% offset clause क्या होता है? It was like हम रफाल, उस कंपनी को रफाल के लिए अगर 50,000 crore rupees दे रहे हैं, 60,000 crore rupees दे रहे हैं, they will invest 30,000 crore rupees in defense in India. So they will set up a company, or they will set up a joint collaboration with some Indian company, and they will invest in India so that India में defense system can, or defense sector can grow. This is offset clause. तो इनका भी एक offset clause था, where they were supposed to 50% offset clause था, they were supposed to invest 50% in India. The deal included aircraft in fly-away condition, weapons, simulators, spares, maintenance and performance-based logistic support for the first 5 years. आप रफाल फाइटर जेट्स के प्रॉपर्टीज देखोगे या फीचर्स देखोगे, इट वाज अ ट्विन इंजन फाइटर मल्टी रोल फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट। जो अपना तेजस था वो कितने इंजन का था? तेजस इज सिंगल इंजन. दिस वाज अ ट्विन इंजन फाइटर मल्टी रोल फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट. रफाल स्ट्रेंथ लाइज इन एडवांस्ड रडार एंड एरे ऑफ मिटियोर, स्कैल्प एंड माइका मिसाइल्स. दीज आर द मिसाइल्स व्हिच आर इनबिल्ट इन इट, लाइक उससे लॉन्च किया जा सकते हैं. Besides 13 India specific enhancement, equipped with latest missiles and weapons, इसके डेल्टा विंग will make it exceptionally stable for supersonic speed. It can travel at a speed more than the speed of sound. Its delta wings are pretty beneficial there. The various missiles are there. As per the contract, at least 75% of Rafale fleet has to be operationally available, which would make it the most available fighter in the IAF fleet. ऐसा होता है कि ऑपरेशनली अवेलेबल सारे एयरक्राफ्ट नहीं रहते हैं. Around 50-60% of them are operationally available. Remaining are under maintenance, under various things. So यहाँ पे रफाल के केस में 75% of them will be operationally available, and thus it will be the most operationally available aircraft. नेवी में आते हैं. तो एक तो नेवी में न्यू इंसाइन ऑफ इंडियन नेवी, वी हैव रिप्लेस्ड दिस इंसिग्निया विथ दिस इंडियन नेवी का न्यू. प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी अनवील्ड इंडियन नेवीज न्यू इंसाइन एट कोची शिपयार्ड ऑन September 2. तो क्या हुआ है? दिस थिंग वाज कॉल्ड व्हाट? इसे क्या बोलते थे? दिस क्रॉस हैज बीन रिप्लेस्ड. It has been done away with. Now we have the emblem here, but in a octagonal structure. Emblem के नीचे, can you see the anchor? We also have the shield. We have the motto of Indian Navy, Sham Nau Varuna, and ये golden color में दो borders, which are part of Indian Navy's ensign now. It has been its new ensign, resonant to now. Why we have changed it? Because recently we have been making a lot of changes which reflect our tradition. Anglicized चीजों को हम बदल रहे हैं. The white ensign identifies nationwide with the navy, now comprised of two main constituents. National flag तो है ही in the upper left corner. The navy blue gold octagon at the center of the fly side, away from the staff. The octagon is with twin golden octagonal border encompassing the golden national emblem. We saw a national emblem there of Ashoka with Satyamev Jayate in blue Devanagari script resting atop an anchor superimposed on a shield. So you can see this anchor, you can see this shield. Below the shield, within the octagon, in a golden ribbon on a navy blue background is inscribed motto of Indian Navy, सम नो वरुणा. क्या मतलब है सम नो वरुणा का? मे द वाटर्स बी ऑस्पिशियस, या शुभ रहे हमारे लिए. ये क्योंकि नेवी है तो वाटर से रिलेटेड होगा. द डिजाइन इनकम्पासेस विद इन द ऑक्टागन हैज बीन टेकन फ्रॉम इंडियन नेवल क्रेस्ट, वेर इन द fold anchor, which is also associated with colonial legacy, has been placed with a clear anchor underscoring the steadfastness of Indian Navy. आप इसका significance देखेंगे तो emblem now shows steadfastness because of the anchor strength. 8 directions represent the octagon symbolized or represented by the octagon symbolize the multi-directional reach and multi-dimensional operational capability of Indian Navy. Then octagon with a golden double border has been inspired by Rajamudra seal of the Maratha Emperor Shivaji, which was adopted when he was just 16 years of age. The octagon with a golden double border has been adopted from Rajamudra seal of Shivaji. Old insignia पे जाएंगे, ensign पे जाएंगे, तो this was our old ensign. Independence के बाद we replaced this with Indian flag, right? ये क्रॉस जो है सेंट जॉर्ज क्रॉस, तो who was Saint George and why this cross there? तो Saint George was a Christian warrior saint. वो crusades हुए थे ना, उसमें he had participated. तो the England, the flag was adopted by England and the city of London in 1190 to identify the English ships entering the Mediterranean. But over the years, तो India में भी ये because Britishers had introduced it, this had continued. But India has removed it. ऐसे ही a number of previous British colonies have removed it from their flags. For example, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they've also done away with this. Aircraft carriers. What are aircraft carriers? To understand aircraft carriers, देखो, this is India, right? यहाँ पे we have Andaman Nicobar के island, यहाँ पे we have Lakshadweep वगैरह, right? The most potent weapon in any defense today is their aircrafts, fighter jets, right? So how powerful your defenses will be determined by how powerful your air force is, because your air force can go and destroy the navy of any other country very quickly. Air force are the fastest, most agile, most powerful weapons that any country has. तो यहां पे हम एयरक्राफ्ट रख सकते हैं, यहां पे हम एयरक्राफ्ट रख सकते हैं, बट इफ वी हैव अ लार्ज शिप and if we can place some fighter aircrafts here, its size is enough that aircraft can take off and land from it, then it increases the strength of that country. Because if we have, let's say, a few aircraft carriers, in a way you can say that हमारे air bases बढ़ गए नंबर में. तो नेवी के पास जो सबसे पावरफुल, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट शिप होती है, दैट इज एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर्स. एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर्स, अब नाम से ही पता लग गया आपको, it has the capability of carrying fighter aircrafts. It will also have a path on which those aircraft would be able to take off or would be able to land. Those are aircraft carriers. Did we understand this? So in September 2022, India made a historic milestone when it commissioned its first ever indigenous aircraft carrier, Vikrant. This is Vikrant, which we have commissioned. इसके डिटेल्स है, फैक्चुअल डिटेल्स है, कुछ बताने का नहीं है, तो प्लीज एक बार इसे खुद से पढ़िए. बट आई टेल यू दिस हिस्ट्री ऑफ एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर्स इन इंडिया. अपना सबसे पहला एयरक्राफ्ट था आईएनएस विक्रांत ओनली, बट जो अभी वाला विक्रांत है ना, आईएनएस विक्रांत, इट हैज बीन नेम्ड आफ्टर दिस आईएनएस विक्रांत. दिस एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर वी हैड टेकन फ्रॉम ब्रिटेन एंड इट वाज समथिंग दैट वाज यूज्ड इन इंडो-पाक वॉर इन 1971. गोवा के फ्रीडम में इट प्लेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. Then INS Virat again came from England. England used it for 20-25 years. जब वो उसे रिटायर करने वाले थे, they gave it to India, they sold it to India. India used it till 2017. This was INS Virat. Now INS Virat कहाँ गया है? गुजरात में तोड़ने के लिए. It was 2017 में decommissioned INS Virat. Then we have Vikramaditya. Vikramaditya is something that we have taken from Russia. It is Russia's refurbished Admiral Gorshko. It was commissioned into Indian Navy as INS Vikramaditya in 2013. And now we have INS Vikrant or Indian Aircraft Carrier 1. As we have started going for simpler names. So Indian Aircraft Carrier 1, ये 2022 में कमीशन हुआ है and it has been named after Vikrant. तो अभी जो functioning aircraft carriers that we have are Vikramaditya and Vikrant. Virat has been decommissioned. उससे पहले original Vikrant has also been decommissioned. These are the two aircraft carriers that we have. Then we'll come to submarines. अच्छा, submarines के बारे में भी ना एक कुछ interesting बातें समझते हैं. देखो, submarines का क्या है ना, submarines would be underwater, would be found underwater. Now suppose सबमरीन से एक तो देखो आपको रिकॉग्नाइजेंस कर सकते हैं, सरप्राइज अटैक में हेल्प कर सकते हैं, बट समटाइम्स सबमरीन आर आल्सो क्रूशियल टू एक्ट. समटाइम्स सबमरीन्स विल आल्सो एक्ट एज अ डिटरेंट. लेट्स से you have a submarine which is somewhere in the Indian Ocean. Enemies do not know where it is, and it is capable of launching ballistic nuclear missile. China will never attack India. Why? अगर चाइना इंडिया पे अटैक करता है न्यूक्लियर वेपन से, मान लो इट आइडेंटिफाइज इंडिया में इन जगह पे न्यूक्लियर वेपन है, मैं वहीं पे अटैक कर देता हूं, they will not be left with capability of attacking India back or attacking China back. But we have some submarines distributed in Indian Ocean and they also have capability of launching ballistic missiles. Deterrent हो गया. और identifying where all the submarines are, इतने बड़े ओशन में कहीं अंदर कुछ सबमरीन छिपे हुए हैं, आइडेंटिफाइंग और वेयर ऑल दैट आर इज नॉट फीजिबल, इट नॉट पॉसिबल, एंड thus it acts as deterrent also. Now submarines are powered by nuclear energy. एक तो न्यूक्लियर वेपन कैरिंग कैपेबिलिटी है, वो अलग है कि उनके वो जो मिसाइल लॉन्च करेंगे इट विल हैव न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स, बट दे आर पावर्ड बाय न्यूक्लियर फ्यूल ऑल्सो, न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी ऑल्सो. वो सबमरीन ना बिल्कुल साउंड भी नहीं करते. वाई? बिकॉज न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट डू नॉट, जैसे अपना जो डीजल पावर प्लांट है, दे प्रोड्यूस एनर्जी, दे प्रोड्यूस साउंड, डीजल मोटर्स एंड ऑल, दे विल प्रोड्यूस साउंड, विच विल नॉट बी द केस विथ न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी वाले. आर वी गेटिंग इट? तो इंडिया का अरिहंत जो है, इट्स अ न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड सबमरीन. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस अब इंडिया अंडर वाटर से भी ballistic, or it is what, SSBN, ship submersible ballistic nuclear. It can launch ballistic missile, ballistic missile carrying nuclear weapons. It is ship submersible ballistic nuclear. ये 2016 में कमीशन हुआ था, अरिहंत, INS अरिहंत, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ऑफ आर सबमरीन्स. इट हैज गिवन अस दिस कैपेबिलिटी कि अंडर वाटर से भी अब हम न्यूक्लियर वेपन लॉन्च कर सकते हैं. देन देयर आर अदर इंपॉर्टेंट सबमरीन, चक्र और अकुला क्लास सबमरीन विच वी हैव टेकन फ्रॉम रशिया. इट इज ऑल्सो न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड. इट वॉज अंडर 10 years ऑफ लीज, बट हमने उसे 10 year लीज खत्म होने से पहले ही रिटर्न कर दिया था. व्हाट वाज दिस? चक्रा. It was also nuclear powered, but now we are having a lot of Scorpion class submarine. Scorpion class submarine फ्रांस से लिया है हमने, एंड इट इज डीजल इलेक्ट्रिक, इट्स नॉट न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड. इसके स्कॉर्पियन क्लास और कालावरी क्लास का वी हैव INS कालावरी which was commissioned in 2017, Khanderi which has been commissioned, Currents has also been commissioned, in fact Vela has also been commissioned. So all these are Kalavari class or Scorpion class submarine. Kalavari class or Scorpion class submarine. Are we getting it? हाँ, इसी का है, जिसके डॉक्यूमेंट्स लीक हो गए थे, वो इसी का था. Yes, we used it was the French company which gave design and everything, है ना. In case of पुराने वाले, when we were talking about origin ना, it was given to us by Russia. Then Sindhu Ghosh class, Sindhu Mar class, these are also various classes of submarine that we have. INS Sindhu Ghosh, and then Sindhu के आगे जो भी नाम लिखा हुआ है ना, INS Sindhu and whatever name you have, they're all submarines. In the same way, INS Shishumar में we have INS Shishumar, INS Shankush, INS Shalki, INS Shankul. These are also various submarines. Not very important, but ये सारे submarines हैं, हमें इतना पता होना चाहिए. Okay. सबमरीन्स आर ऑल्सो अंडरस्टूड. इंडिया के सबमरीन, तो एग्जाम में एक बार सवाल आया था सिंधु घोष क्या है, और एक ऑप्शन था सबमरीन. सिंधु घोष या कोई किसी नाम पे आया था एक सवाल 2016 में, आई गेस. हाँ, 2016 प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन में वन क्वेश्चन वाज देयर. तो ऐसे अगर सिंधु करके कुछ भी आता है, इट्स अ सबमरीन. अरिहंत इज अ सबमरीन. कालावरी एंड ऑल, दे आर स्कॉर्पियन क्लास सबमरीन. राइट? आर वी कंफर्टेबल हियर? नाउ लेट्स गो टू डिफेंस एक्विजिशन प्रोसीजर 2020. Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020. Now, what is this Defense Acquisition Procedure? इससे पहले होता था Defense Acquisition Procedure 2016, and this Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020 has been amended in 2022, and that's why we are doing it. So, Arihant is the only nuclear powered submarine we have? Yes. For now, Arihant is the only nuclear powered. Arihant class nuclear powered submarine is the only nuclear powered submarine that we have. प्लीज अपलोड प्रीवियस साइंस एंड टेक RTFQs. मैं पूछता हूँ, है ना. दैट वाज पार्ट ऑफ आवर करंट अफेयर्स प्रोग्राम. वो यूट्यूब पे अपलोड कर सकते हैं क्या? I'll let you know if we can do that. देखो, इकोनॉमी RTFQ we are doing entirely on YouTube. Environment also we have done entirely on YouTube. साइंस एंड टेक बेटा सब यूट्यूब पे डाल देंगे तो कोर्स में एडमिशन कौन ले? चलो मैं पूछता हूं एक बार. I'll ask the admin if we can do that, and accordingly I'll do it. Okay, let's come to this defense acquisition procedure. तो हाँ, what were we saying? एक defense acquisition policy थी, अपनी procedure था 2016 का, उसे we replaced by 2020 procedure. Now this 2020 procedure was amended in 2022, and that's why we want to briefly cover it. Now what is the idea of, like इस पे जाते हैं बाद में, but defense acquisition procedure में हम क्या करना चाहते हैं? We set up certain principles how defense equipment would be acquired. उनका प्रोक्योरमेंट कैसे होगा. And in there we will see that the policy says that highest priority would be given to something that is developed in India. Even when we are getting something from outside, usme the priority should be given to we are getting the technology from outside and manufacturing in India. Even if you are buying something from outside altogether and manufacturing it in India, there also indigenous component should be there. Through this, we try to promote Make in India. We try to promote Atmanirbhar Bharat. We try to promote Indian defense industries. So our defense acquisition procedure does things like this. तो आप की फीचर्स देखेंगे. देखो, in 2016 in defense procurement procedure 2016 there were categories, these kind of categories. सबसे हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी किसका था? बाय इंडियन आईडीडीबीएम. वो प्रोडक्ट इंडिया में ही बना होना चाहिए, प्लस इंडिजिनसली डिजाइन, डेवलप्ड एंड मैन्युफैक्चर्ड. तो लेट्स से वी आर बाइंग अ फाइटर जेट. Fighter jet में we have 5 options which are fulfilling the criteria. Which will get highest priority? Indian IDDM, indigenously designed, developed and manufactured. Then by Indian. यहाँ पे indigenously designed, developed नहीं है, but Indian है ये. Buy and make Indian. Buy and make में you're buying it from outside, but some of you're manufacturing it in India. Buy and make. उसमें indigenous component इतने नहीं है कि आप उसे Indian बोल पाओगे, but buy and make. And then buy global. Last option was buy global. If you come here in the new policy also, you have buy Indian IDDM, but one thing that has changed it, last time उसमें indigenous component का requirement था more than 40%, but now indigenous only when the indigenous component would be more than 50% and it is designed and developed in India. कुछ component you have taken from outside, then it will be considered of this category. It has been given highest priority. Then we have buy Indian, buy and make Indian, buy global, and you would see in almost all the sections, indigenous component requirement has been made 50%, except the last one, buy global. If you're buying it from some foreign country, then no indigenous component requirement has been set. But if you are buying it from Indian, then 30% indigenous component requirement is there. Okay, so through this defense procurement policy, what do we try to do? We try to increase कि इंडिया में ही ज्यादा मैन्युफैक्चर हो, इंडियन कंपोनेंट्स का रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा हो. इसी में कुछ अमेंडमेंट्स हुए हैं अप्रैल 2022 में. व्हाट आर दीज अमेंडमेंट्स? गोइंग फॉरवर्ड ऑल मॉडर्नाइजेशन रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ डिफेंस में जो भी मॉडर्नाइजेशन रिक्वायरमेंट हो रहा है एंड इंडियन कोस्ट गार्ड आर टू बी इंडिजिनसली सोर्स्ड. We have said कि सारे modernization requirement should happen indigenously except in very rare circumstances, exceptional circumstances. Import should only be an exception and undertaken with specific approval from Defense Acquisition Council and Raksha Mantri. Acquisition should be an exception. To reduce financial burden on defense industry, their requirement of integrity pact bank guarantee has been done away with. Now they only have to provide earnest money deposit. तो आप कोई चीज प्रॉमिस करते हो, आप किसी बिडिंग में आते हो तो यू हैव टू डिपॉजिट सम मनी, यू हैव टू डू दैट. पहले आपको ना बैंक गारंटी देना पड़ता था, whose burden was higher. To promote wider participation in broad-based indigenous defense manufacturing sector. To promote participation of more indigenous defense manufacturing player, what they have done it. Suppose कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट था, उसमें there are 2 companies which are fulfilling the requirement. 2 Indian companies. So what government will do? It will divide the work between 2 companies so that more participation, more number of Indian companies are able to participate in these projects. To enable budding startup talent pool of the country to contribute towards the twin mantra of self-sufficient indigenization, the procurement process under IDEX procedure of DAP 2020 has been simplified. 2022 का जो amendment है, उसमें IDEX was a mechanism through which we were supporting Indian defense industry, Indian defense startups. उसमें procurement procedure has been simplified. So these are some of the things that has been done in 2022 to further simplify the defense procurement procedure. Okay, अब हम 2 laws जो internal security से related है, न्यूज में रहते हैं. एक है AFSPA, एक है Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. We would quickly deal with them. 2 छोटे-छोटे laws हैं. We'll quickly finish this. कर लो चैट कर लो।
चैट में 2000 के नोट बंद हो गए
हैं?
आरबीआई में सर्कुलेशन बंद।
क्या बात कर, तुम ना कुछ फेक न्यूज ना फैलवा देना मेरे से, मैं लाइव हूँ।
टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया का
आरबीआई टू विड्रॉ ₹2000, विड्रॉ करेगी ना, बंद थोड़ी, तुम ऐसे मत करो, नोटबंदी नहीं हुई है भाई ये ऐसे 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 कोई बातें मत करो तुम, करवाएगा। इसने ना ऐसे रैंडमली कुछ बोल दिया, ऐसे वो चैट कर रहा था किसी ने।
वो वही आया मुझे मैसेज, मैं देख रहा था आर्टिकल। हम तो दोस्तों से कंफ्यूज थे।
अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट के प्रोविजंस बताओ, मैंने अभी बताए थे। हाँ,
सेडिशन वाला है ना।
सेडिशन वाला नहीं है, यूएपी है, कुछ भी। तुम क्लास में ध्यान दे नहीं रहे, चैट में लगे हुए हो।
चैट किसी ने नहीं करता। वो देखते रहे हो हाथ में था फोन आपको दिखा। आर्टिकल पढ़ रहा था।
कोई नहीं बेटा, बदला लिया जाएगा। आ जाओ। आफ्सपा, आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर एक्ट 1957। देखो, वी आर नॉट गोइंग इनटू द थ्योरी बिहाइंड इट, द सपोर्ट ऑफ इट, द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ इट, ये सब मेंस में आएगा। अभी ना आर्म फोर्सेस स्पेशल पावर एक्ट क्या है, किन किन जगहों पे लगा हुआ है, उसके प्रोविजंस क्या हैं, वी वुड डील विद दैट। आर्म फोर्स, देखो अभी न्यूज में था, मार्च 2023 में, यू वुड सी दैट असम गवर्नमेंट हैज एक्सटेंडेड आफ्सपा in 8 districts of state for 6 months with effect from 1st of April 2023। इसे समझो कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट भी एक्सटेंड कर सकता है आफ्सपा। एंड यहां पे आओ, यूनियन होम मिनिस्ट्री एक्सटेंडेड फॉर 6 मंथ द डिस्टर्ब्ड एरिया स्टेटस। किसी एरिया, किसी रीजन को जब डिस्टर्ब्ड एरिया बोलते हैं वहां आफ्सपा लग जाता है। तो इन अ वे होम मिनिस्ट्री एक्सटेंडेड आफ्सपा इन पार्ट्स ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश एंड नागालैंड अंडर, तो अरुणाचल प्रदेश और नागालैंड में भी होम मिनिस्ट्री ने एक्सटेंड किया। ठीक है, तो ये आफ्सपा है क्या? When in Northeast India, a lot of violence started. When in Northeast India, a lot of violence started. Government gave some unprecedented power to security agencies working under Government of India through Armed Forces Special Power Act. Look at the name, Armed Forces को special powers देगा to control the violent situation in those areas. Subsequently, तो इस तरह की चीजें ना, जैसे when in late 1980s जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में टेररिज्म बढ़ा, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के लिए भी एक अलग से आर्म्ड फोर्सेस एक्ट लाया गया। सिमिलरली आई थिंक पंजाब में भी दिस काइंड ऑफ लॉ वाज ब्रॉट, बट दैट लॉ हैज बीन विड्रॉन नाउ। पंजाब वाला लॉ 2007 में विड्रॉ हो गया है, बट इम्पोजिशन वहां पे आफ्सपा वगैरह का विड्रॉ हो गया, बट यहाँ पे अभी भी कंटिन्यू हो रहा है। तो व्हाट आर द की प्रोविजंस ऑफ द एक्ट? First, it talks about, we are talking about the 1958 Act. It talks about, it extends to whole of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. तो आफ्सपा कहां कहां लग सकता है? क्या आफ्सपा लाके दिल्ली में लगाया जा सकता है? कल नहीं। कल इवन इफ होम मिनिस्ट्री कैन नॉट डिक्लेयर एन एरिया ऑफ दिल्ली एज डिस्टर्ब्ड एरिया, एंड आफ्सपा यहां नहीं लग सकता, बिकॉज द आफ्सपा लॉ सेज दैट इट इज एप्लीकेबल इन द 7 स्टेट्स। तो अभी ये कहां पे लगा हुआ है? तो करंट एक्सटेंट आप देखोगे एज ऑफ मार्च 2023, तो अरुणाचल प्रदेश में 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में, असम में, मणिपुर में, एंड अरे कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई, नागालैंड में। यहां पे ना प्लीज 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 मेक दिस करेक्शन, मेघालय में नहीं है, मेघालय को क्रॉस, अच्छा विड्रॉ नहीं, अच्छा ओके ओके ओके, एंड त्रिपुरा में भी नहीं है। तो जो बोल्ड में है ना, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, असम, मणिपुर एंड नागालैंड, दीज आर द प्लेसेस। वो मैंने नोट्स में क्रॉस करा हुआ था, ब्रैकेट में लिखा था विड्रॉन वाला, सो दैट रिवाइज करते टाइम इट बिकम्स वेरी कॉमन। हाँ इम्तियाज, अगर कुछ छूटा होगा ना मैं उसे आरटीएफक्यू में डाल के कर दूंगा, साइंस वाले में, डोंट वरी। और फिर भी सारे देखो, सारे मिसाइल सब कुछ करने का ना फायदा नहीं होता है, मैं ये समझा रहा हूं, रिटर्न बहुत कम है, कुछ फैक्चुअल पूछा जाता है। पिछले 2 बार जो पूछा गया, एक बार 2018 में, एक बार 2019 में, इट वाज अबाउट सम मिसाइल, वो किस कंट्री का है। दे हैवंट आस्क्ड अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम इट, so we do not have to go too much into it। वो तो आप लोग इंसिस्ट कर रहे थे कि डिफेंस करा दो, डिफेंस करा दो, वरना इसमें देखो साइंस से आपको कराया भी नहीं है। क्लिक केमिस्ट्री वाज साइंस, अदरवाइज एवरीथिंग इज फैक्चुअल। ओके, तो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आफ्सपा। आफ्सपा में आर्टिकल 1 क्या बोल रहा है? आर्टिकल 1 बोल रहा है कि कहां पे एक्सटेंड हो सकता है, और अभी कहां पे एक्सटेंडेड है? 4 स्टेट्स में, अरुणाचल प्रदेश, असम, मणिपुर एंड नागालैंड। 1958 वाला एक्ट। सेक्शन 2, how does it define armed forces? It says military force and the air force operating as land force and includes other armed forces of the union so operating। तो बेसिकली यूनियन गवर्नमेंट के आर्म्ड फोर्सेस जो वहां पे ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं, they will be included in the definition of this. Then section 3 talks about एक किस एरिया को डिस्टर्ब्ड एरिया डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं, किस एरिया को डिस्टर्ब्ड एरिया डिक्लेयर कर सकते हैं, एंड वहां पे आफ्सपा लग जाएगा. तो हियर दे आर सेइंग in relation to any state or UT to which the act extends. Now, why the act has the provision for UT? Because at that time 1958 में there were a few UTs there, है ना. तो in relation to any state or UT to which the act extends, the governor of the state or the administrator of the UT or the central government, the governor UT के केस में administrator and central government in either case is of the opinion that the whole or any part of such state or UT as the case may be such in such disturbed or dangerous condition that the use of armed forces in the aid of civil power is necessary, they may notify those areas as disturbed areas and their AFSPA would be applicable. Are we getting this? तो central government भी कर सकता है और state government, and we saw the examples. Home Ministry extending it in some places and the state government extending it in some places. Section 5, arrested person to be handed over to the police. But the most important provisions or the most controversial provisions are Section 4 and Section 6. What does Section 4 say? 4A enables security forces to fire upon or otherwise use force even to causing death where laws are being violated. जहां पे AFSPA लगा हुआ है, आपको फायरिंग की परमिशन है. When the laws are getting violated, the assembly of 5 or more persons or carrying of weapons may be considered as violation of law. 4B dealing with destroying any shelter or suspicion of it being used as hideout by armed gangs or an absconder wanted for any offense. तो कोई भी जगह है जहां पे कुछ लोग रह रहे हैं, if they have suspicion that it's a hideout for people involved in illegal activities, they may destroy this. 4C arrest without warrant even when only a suspicion exists. 4D dealing with search without warrant any premise. And no criminal prosecution will lie against any person who has taken action under this act except when the previous sanction of the, तो without central government's permission किसी armed forces वाले person के against action लिया ही नहीं जा सकता. Do we get it? Do we understand it? These are the controversial provision 4-6, but इसका मिसयूज भी हो जाता है, इसीलिए इसका क्रिटिसिज्म भी होता है. बट दैट्स नॉट आवर सब्जेक्ट ऑफ स्टडी टुडे. आवर सब्जेक्ट ऑफ स्टडी वाज अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट AFSPA is, where all AFSPA has been imposed so far. So 7 northeastern states, J&K and Punjab. For Punjab, a separate act was passed in 1983, which was repealed in 2007. Jammu and Kashmir के लिए an act was passed in 1990. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Under this, central government has announced a ban on Popular Front of India. इस वजह से न्यूज में था. बाद में सिद्दीकी का अपना जर्नलिस्ट हु हैड गॉन टू उत्तर प्रदेश, उनके अगेंस्ट भी यूएपीए लगा दिया गया था. उनकी रिलीज के बाद भी यूएपीए में बहुत सारा डिस्कशन हुआ था. नाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट, क्विकली कवर दिस, नोट्स आप पढ़ लीजिएगा. अंडरस्टैंड इट्स बैकग्राउंड. अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट ना, आप जाएंगे तो 1960s में जाओ तो इन तमिलनाडु दी मेन स्ट्रीम पोलिटिकल पार्टीज DMK itself was demanding self-determination. So government first amended the constitution to impose restriction on free speech. Free speech allowed है, पर ये free speech का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप कंट्री को तोड़ने की बात करने लग जाओगे. And then they brought Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, under which people, organization could be declared as illegal organization if they are involved in activities which are going to impact India's security, India's integrity and so on. So sir, does this act permit armed forces to check mobile phones also? यार मुझे नहीं प्रैक्टिकली ग्राउंड पे क्या होता है, बट हाँ मोबाइल फोन चेक करना, जब वो घर में घुस के तलाशी ले सकते हैं तो हाँ, अब जब वो गोली मार सकते हैं तो मोबाइल फोन तो चेक कर ही सकते हैं. सब कुछ निकाल के घर वालों को दिखा देते हैं सर. अच्छा, इम्तियाज कश्मीर में है शायद, उसका फोन से सब कुछ निकाल के घर वालों को दिखा देते हैं. तो तुम ऐसी चीजें करो मत ना, घर वालों को दिखने में डर रहे हैं, मतलब. और उससे बोलो भाई एक गर्लफ्रेंड के चैट मत दिखा, है ना. ऐसी चीज करो मत कि घर वालों को दिखाने में. जैसे मेरा फोन घर वाले देखेंगे तो क्या बोलेंगे. मैं सोच रहा हूँ कुछ गड़बड़ है क्या जहां पे वो, हाँ वो कॉलेज वाले जो दोस्तों का ग्रुप है उस पे तो उनकी भाषा और ना, हाँ हाँ, आई अंडरस्टैंड योर पेन भाई। चलिए लेट्स कम बैक टू दिस। तो अंडरस्टैंड द बैकग्राउंड जिसमें यूएपीए आया है ना, पहले तो किस तरह की एक्टिविटीज को कम करने के लिए आया होगा। देन वी हैड अ एक्ट टाडा टेररिज्म से डील करने के लिए, फिर वी हैड अ पोटा, बट बोथ दोज एक्ट्स हैव बीन रिपील्ड एंड यूएपीए वाज अमेंडेड टू इंक्लूड इवन टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज अंडर इट। तो अभी यूएपीए प्राइमरली डील्स विद टू काइंड्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज, अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज एंड टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज। आर वी गेटिंग दिस? तो UAPA was introduced in 1967 as a legislation to set up reasonable restriction on fundamental freedom under Article 19(1) of the Constitution. These restrictions were meant to be used to safeguard the integrity and sovereignty of India. Over the years, it has been amended on many occasions, and today UAPA deals with two qualitatively and fundamentally different kind of act: unlawful activities and terrorist activities. These are, so unlawful activity क्या है? It is defined as any action by any individual or association which is intended to bring about secession or such action as to disrupt or question the sovereignty and territorial integrity of India, or which causes and intends to cause disaffection against India. Central government through notification can declare an act as unlawful. Under section 3 of UAPA, the government has powers to declare an association as unlawful. तो जब हम किसी एसोसिएशन को बैन करते हैं तो बेसिकली हम उस एसोसिएशन को अनलॉफुल डिक्लेयर करते हैं। पीएफआई का बैन हुआ है अभी, इट वाज इन न्यूज फॉर दिस रीजन। तो अंडर सेक्शन 3 गवर्नमेंट कुड डिक्लेयर दैट एसोसिएशन टू बी अनलॉफुल। अब कोई एसोसिएशन अनलॉफुल हो गया उसका मतलब उसका मेंबरशिप क्रिमिनलाइज हो गया। इफ यू आर बिकमिंग मेंबर ऑफ दैट organization, it's a criminal offense. For feature of the properties of the organization, a person who continues to work for the association or assist the association is punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years. The law punishes an unlawful act with an imprisonment of up to 7 years, and membership of any unlawful association is punishable with an imprisonment of up to 2 years. Then बाद में जब टाडा और पोटा हट गए, पहले टाडा हटा उसको फिर पोटा लेके आया, पोटा भी हट गया, तो it was amended in 2004 to cover terrorist activities also, और यहाँ पे terrorist activities का definition भी है। तो इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के लिए आफ्स्पा एंड यूएपीए आर टू एक्ट्स which you should briefly go through. It's not actually science, but क्योंकि हम डिफेंस पढ़ रहे थे मैंने सोचा इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी की ये दो चीजें न्यूज में रही हैं, we should also do that. And I think at the time of mains examination, that is before December, we had covered these things in detail along with its analysis. Fine. तो आज अपन लोग यहीं रुकते हैं. Tomorrow we will be starting with RTFQ economy. Economy 2 and economy 3. One is already done. One is already on YouTube. So we will go through that. अगर आपको फटाफट रिवाइज करना है, go through 1 and 2 and 3. 2 tomorrow and 3 day after tomorrow we'll be dealing with. टॉपिक्स उसके आगे वाले देख लेना ना. चलो मैं आज जाके करके दे देता हूँ. आज अभी शाम को मैसेज कर दूंगा ग्रुप में, करंट अफेयर्स वाले ग्रुप में, कि व्हाट वाज कवर्ड इन 1 एंड व्हाट. अभी तक तो रिवीजन पूरा हो गया ना, तो एक दिन ठीक है, I'll do that. चलिए फिर, थैंक यू वेरी मच.